Good morning, boys and girls. How are we doing today? Today is Saturday, December 19th. A little bit of snow on the ground outside. And we're back in the shop doing some more work. Things are looking a little bit different in here. Snagged myself some nice shelving units. Finally got all my oils and miscellaneous crap organized a little bit better back here. These things are pretty nice. Got room to spare in this one. So managed to make myself a little bit more room out here anyway. Always nice to be a little bit more organized. Picked up myself a new toolbox last weekend too, for good old Harbor Freight special. I was gonna get the top box for it right away too, but lo and behold, they did not have one in stock. So on the hunt for one of those yet. I was just gonna pre-order one, but I was like, I really don't need it. Got plenty of space with just the lower, but I think as soon as I find one that's in stock, I'll probably grab it too, just because it just looks empty there. Looks like it needs the top box on it. It's gonna bother me if it's not there. So, but the old Husky unit there has been, it's been fine. I bought that back when I was in high school, and it's just kind of starting to overflow now. So figured it's time for something a little bit bigger. I was going to get the massive, whatever it is, like 72-inch roller from Harbor Freight, but I was like, I really don't need to spend that much money, and I think between the bottom and the top, I'll have more than enough space for everything that I've got that actually needs to go into a box. A lot of my stuff I've just got up on pegboards. Anyway, I bought myself a new camera, and I should have listened to my wife, as always. I just bought this off Amazon, and it was like $100 or something like that. And she told me it was going to be garbage, and she was right. But I think I'm still going to try and use it for, I don't know, just like time-lapse stuff that I never actually film. When I'm actually doing the work, and then typically what I do is I'll just turn the camera off and do a bunch of work, and then kind of give you guys a summary of what I did. But I think I'm going to end up just using this to film everything that I do real time, and then I'll speed it up in the editing process and throw it in there. The quality absolutely sucks, and the audio is complete shit, especially without that external mic. But I figure I will try and use it once or twice and see how it goes. I don't know. I have never actually loaded a video off of it onto my computer and checked how it looks on there, but you record a clip with it and play it back on the camera itself, and it sounds god-awful. I think I got a touch of the Rona yet. Anyway, this is what we're doing this morning. Working on the white. Cleaned up this rim, pulled the old shitty tire off of it last weekend. I've just been letting the paint dry on it all week, and as usual, I didn't have time to do anything during the week because of work. But anyway, yep, got to get a tire mounted on that rim this morning. Might pull off the other tire, even though that one's good. I think it's just going to drive me nuts if they don't match. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. And then once we're done with that, we are going to try and mount these LED pods that I got off Amazon, which, who knows, might also be junk, but it was like 20 bucks for a set of 4, and then this wiring harness I think was like $12. Everything is the Nilight brand. Not sure where I'm going to put them yet on this bad boy. I wanted something that I could put back in the original headlight sockets, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think I'm going to end up just drilling holes on the side of the front cowl here and just bolt them in place and wire them. and that'll still be good enough for what I need. And I think I'm only going to put 2 of them on here, and the other 2 might end up, or at least one of them, but probably both of them, will end up on the Mitsubishi. I also thought about trying to rig one up on the little Aaron's, but I don't think... I didn't look close enough at it. I think it's possible, but I don't know if it's possible yet, especially with the whole LED situation and all the extra crap that's got to go on with those versus just your regular old flood lamp that used to be on there. So we'll see. Also, finally got the oil filter in for the Mitsubishi. I don't know if it's, you know, manufacturing that took it so long or just shipping or whatever, but I ordered that like over a month and a half ago and it just got here today. So yeah, got to change the engine oil in that bad boy, along with the trans hydraulic fluid, and clean the screens and everything, and I think I'm going to change the antifreeze in that as well. But who knows if we'll even get around to that today. I don't know. At the very least, I want to get the tire on this thing, the lights on this thing, and then get those shoes cleaned up and new material welded on the bottom of them for the little errands, and get that up into the attached garage where it belongs, and call that project done. So I am going to set up the garbage camera and I guess just start doing stuff and see how that video turns out. And if it sucks, I'm sorry. Maybe we'll have some fun with that camera and just absolutely destroy it. I did pick up a couple of new guns recently, so that might be fun. Only issue, yeah, I guess now is not a good time to be wasting ammo, because it seems like there is none of it for sale anywhere. Go off on a tangent about that. Anyway, let's get to work. Well, my goodness, I have made a mistake. I did not have the external mic turned on while I was filming any of the earlier stuff that I filmed. Mostly just with putting the lights on, the white and the tire and stuff. But I know the audio quality probably sucks with this microphone anyway, but I did say a couple things, so I guess I'll probably just run back over it real quick. I did just finish welding the new metal onto the bottom of the shoes for that little Aaron snowblower. That was just real quick and dirty, as usual for stuff like that. I didn't really put a whole lot of time into it, just needed something on there. Could have just bought new shoes, but I had metal laying around and, you know, why not? So anyway, that's done. And yes, I did get the lights wired up and working and everything. Like I said, I had filmed this once already, but without any sound, a good deal of those clips might be kind of useless. But anyway, they turned out pretty well overall. I've got them pretty much level horizontally and then tipped, angled out to the left and to the right to kind of illuminate around the blower. If I would have had them pointed, you know, a little bit more straight instead of angled out, I would have just been hitting the back of the blower and I wouldn't have got much light around where I needed it, I guess. You know, I think for what I have into this, all said and done, the lighting was less than $40. Those light pods were about $5 a piece, so you really can't go wrong there for something like this. I know a lot of people pay upwards of $50 a piece for those pods. Obviously those are a lot higher quality. Who knows how long these will last. But I think this wiring harness at least is pretty decent. And if the lights burn out or whatever, they break, then I've got two more sitting in a box on the shelf. And if I end up wanting to put something a little higher quality on here, I can. These were designed for a vehicle, I think, you know, for like a Jeep or something like that. Same with the harness, so there's a ton of extra wire that I had to kind of deal with over here on the opposite side. I ran out of zip ties, so I kind of had to mix and match colors there. Not a big deal. Yes, I've got a bundle of wire there. Let's see. So the switch punched a hole in the dash and popped that in there. It was like a 3/4 inch hole, I believe. It's kind of nice. The switch is illuminated too. And that way, you know, I've had issues before, like on the case, I'd always leave the lights on and kill the battery. But here I should notice it a little bit easier anyway. Yeah, so that comes through there, positive, negative on the battery. The relay is grounded there, mounted pretty well. That worked out pretty nice with that existing bolt that I had there for the heat shield. And the wires come through the firewall and then to the lights through this front, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, this shield there, I guess. Had to drill a couple holes in that just to get everything nice and tidy, but it looks good now, I think. I'm happy with it. Like I said, for less than $40 or less than $30 or whatever it was, really can't go wrong. I mean, even in the shop, and it's pretty brightly lit in here, you can tell they make a pretty good difference. So when it gets dark out later, I'll come out and actually get a decent clip of them, I guess, in the dark. But I think that's going to be more than enough light for blowing snow. And I think I'll probably end up putting those other two maybe on the Mitsubishi, or I might try to rig one up for the little orange Aaron snowblower, although I've got lights in my driveway, so I shouldn't really have to worry about needing to light too much up with that, but we'll see how it goes. I just pulled the F-250 out of the shop here because I'm going to fire up the tractor and warm that up and then change the oil in it. That's been needing to get done since I bought it. Finally got the filter in the mail, so that's good. And I don't know how much anything else that I talked about while I was not recording sound earlier, but just trying out this new camera today, so if the video sucks and the audio sucks, just bear with me and we'll figure something out. But figured I paid for it, I might as well give it a shot at least once. The video doesn't look terrible, doesn't look great, but the audio was atrocious without the external microphone, and I don't know, I think my phone overall does a much better job, which makes sense. I mean, the camera technology in phones has come a long way, and I mean, this camera that I'm using right now I paid like $100 for, and I mean, you think about it, for a phone, most phones cost over $1,000 nowadays, or at least close to $1,000. So, you know, I guess I didn't really think about that. There's probably a lot, you know, better technology or higher quality technology in our phones than we think about. Or at least me anyway, I don't know. But yeah, anyway. Back to work. Alright, we're gonna cold start the Mitsubishi. I think it's run in probably close to 2 months. Thing's been pretty reliable so far. Haven't had any issues with it, although it hasn't been cold out, so we'll see how she does. Give the glow plugs about 10 seconds, maybe 20. No problem. Alright, gonna start draining the oil on this. Looks like the drain plug is a 19mm. And I'm not 100% sure how much is going to come out, how much goes into it. I have a 3-gallon bucket underneath it right now. I'm kind of hoping that that's going to be enough. But we will find out, I guess. Looks like it quit. about somewhere in the neighborhood of 6 quarts, which I think is pretty accurate. I seem to remember reading that in the manual, but I will check the manual before I just start dumping it in there. I think the manual called for 10W30, regular old 10W30, but I'm going to go with 1540, just because I've got a lot of it, and it's, I don't know, I feel like it's pretty decent universal diesel oil, but we'll see how it runs in the winter with 1540. I'm not going to be starting it in the dead cold. I mean, I always come out and warm the shop up before I, plow snow or anything like that, so it should be fine. I don't see any issues with that. Should have been long enough, more than long enough. Oh, just a touch low. Add a little bit more, we should be good. Yeah, we're gonna go with that. Plenty good for now. I don't want to overfill it. I'll check it first couple times that I use it, and we'll go from there. Oil looks really dirty though. Still, I think, I don't know, the crankcase could probably stand to be flushed. I might only run this oil for maybe 20 hours and then change it again. Because who knows, I mean, who knows how long it's been since it's been changed, how many hours that oil had on it. That was really black though. But this is a start, we'll see how it goes. Just a couple more things I want to do before I call it a day and head in the house. I want to get the linkage made here for the chute rotation. I have this old jack handle. I forget if this came out of my old Avalanche or if this might have just been in the bed of the F-250. I don't remember. But anyway, it's the perfect length. I'm just going to have to cut it there and there, and I'm just going to take about an 8-10 inch chunk out of there, bring that handle down closer so it can actually clear the side of the tractor, so you can manually, I guess, rotate it to rotate the worm gear up here to actually turn the chute left and right. And I have to build some sort of support there for the handle to rest in and rotate in, I guess. So what I came up with, I had this old eye hook here, and I'm going to take these 5/8 washers and just tack them in place around the edge, and then I've got some threaded rod, and what I'm going to do is just poke a hole down there in the floorboard and run the pole all the way up to about the height that I want it at, and then this is going to be welded onto that pole, and then I'll be able to slide the handle through this, and this will support it and kind of act as, I guess, more or less a bearing, because I don't have, if I had a 1/2 inch bore bearing, I would just use that, but this is going to work essentially the same way and just as well. It'll make more sense when it's done, if my explanation didn't do it for you, but we're going to get that done, get you a little bit better view of what I'm working with here. So, yep, worm gear. I'm sure you know what that is, how that works, rotates the chute. What I've done, this shitty camera would focus. It's probably not going to. Anyway, this is just a 1/4 inch swivel joint. And what I'm going to do is weld this 3/8 to 1/4 inch reducer to the end of this shaft, and then it will hook right up to the swivel joint, just like that. And then once it's welded in place, I'll be able to sit back in the chair, turn the handle, and rotate the chute. Probably an over explanation for what you need, but now you know what's going on. Okay, here's what I ended up with. It's not perfect, but it's what I had envisioned. I'm sure there maybe was a better solution out there, but I don't care. Yeah, this is the threaded rod that I was talking about earlier. All I did was poke a hole in the floorboard, and got a nut on the bottom side with a big washer, and nut on the top side of the big washer, so that's fairly sturdy. Still kind of warm from welding it. Welded that eyelet to the top of the threaded rod, and then closed down that hole a little bit with some washers there. So you get the idea. I'm sure all of you knew what I was talking about from the beginning, but works like a charm. No complaints from me. It's kind of fun just figuring stuff out as I go here. I suppose it's dark enough outside now that I could give those lights a try. Alright, I might even turn that last one out. I'm going to end up running into something here, this is for sure. Alright. Oh, it is pitch black in here and I can't see a damn thing. Okay. Where's the switch? There it is. Oh yeah, that's nice. That should work out just fine. Leaves a little bit to be desired. I really don't think there's any way around casting a shadow with a blower like that, unless I get the cab built for this thing and mount some lights to the top of the cab and then angle them down in front of the machine. But I think the blower is just gonna, I don't really know what I could have did there without putting these on like some big goofy like brackets out to the side, but that's plenty good for what I'm going to be doing. So anyway, happy with that. Get some lights back on here so I don't trip and die. Get you a view from the front here, yeah, because that's doing something. Nice blinding. This camera sucks, but it's better than nothing, I guess. We'll use it for a little while and see what the feedback is from you guys. Not bad though. Not bad for less than $40. I can't complain. Well, I think that's that, guys. It's dark outside. I think it's pushing 5 o'clock right now, which means it's time for me to go inside, light a fire in the wood stove, and just relax for a little while. So we got a good deal of stuff done today. We got that tire mounted, rim painted, got the lights mounted on the white, wired, tested. What else did we do? Took the tractor out for a little bit of a drive, warmed it up, changed the oil in there, spilled a bunch of oil all over the engine. That was fun. Successfully changed the oil anyway, nonetheless. Cleaned up a little bit in the shop. Took the F-250 out for a drive to the property and checked the trail cam. If there's anything interesting on there, maybe I'll throw in some pictures at the end here. Other than that, wow, that's that Wisconsin road salt for you. Good stuff. Alright, I think that'll do it. Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys, and we will see you in the next one. See you later.